Oh my gosh. These ads. Why won't they go away? Why won't they go away? It's like I wake up at night and I see the same thing in my dreams. I think we all know what I'm talking about. The Abby ads. Classic Abby. It's like these ads that we can't get away from, that you're probably thinking, why is this even here? And you try to push not interested and it doesn't work. And then as soon as you think that you have gotten rid of these ads that you don't want to see, and if you're a woman, ads that are telling you how to be a woman, and you hate it, and you're just like, man, this is really toxic. And I find them toxic. I do. I mean, I personally find them toxic. You click off of them, and after you dislike them, just 2 seconds of dislike, they come back up again. Abby's ads are the herpes of YouTube. I just said it. Abby's ads, classic Abby's ads, are the herpes of YouTube. Welcome back to the Spicy X channel. And today, I'm going to be watching classically Abby. So there's this one about modesty that we all hate, that we come running into. I actually, you know how I don't care for the ads? I'm actually okay with them because I know that this is all torturing.
Hello, beautiful ladies, and welcome to today's video, where we're going to be talking about modesty, why it's important, and why it doesn't mean looking like garbage. Modesty. It's a concept that some women truly hate. It's also a concept that a lot of women embrace. First off, what is it? Modesty is dressing in a way that doesn't sexualize your body. I get the appeal of not wanting to dress modestly all the time. Even for those of us who do dress modestly, sometimes it's hard. It's fun to dress in a way that makes you desirable. It's fun to be noticed. But the question is, who do you want to be desirable to? And do you want to be noticed for being beautiful or being sexy? Modesty is about treating your body with respect. It's about recognizing reality, that men are visual creatures, not emotional ones. It's about leaving things to the imagination. It's about dressing beautifully and attractively, but not garishly. It's about embracing femininity. And it's about dressing in public in a way that's appropriate for everyone, from children to grandparents to moms and dads. Modesty is a way for you to respect yourself and respect others. When you go to the park and you're surrounded by families with children, is it fair to dress in a way that's distracting? No. Instead, dress in a way that's appropriate for the occasion. When you meet a guy and immediately have a connection, you have one chance to make an impression. Do you want him to leave having your body at the forefront of his mind, or you as a person? If you are wearing something incredible...
So we're gonna stop that trash right here. To say that men are not emotional creatures and that they're visual. Yeah, of course. You know, I've seen in the comments there were some guys who took offense to that. That says a lot. Now, classic Abby telling women how to dress and saying that that's all they're ever gonna think about. How is that? I feel like there's so much pressure on women. How is that our problem? Like, I've had this happen to me. So I'm gonna just tell this story where I preferably don't dress provocatively. I could be dressed like this, t-shirt, pants, or be dressed in a blouse that's not even revealing at all, right? And they're still going to have an imagination about me. And it's kind of sad to say, but I've had dated guys in the past. I've never dressed up like that at all, but they have been still have been disrespectful enough to say, well, I think of you like this. And I've never shown behavior to be that way. And usually that makes me leave them and break up with them, because that's not the kind of relationship I'm looking for. But either way, you could be dressed up head to toe. They're still gonna think of you that way. They will always think of you that way. It doesn't matter what you look like, how you act. Even if you're not acting that way, even if you've never said anything provocative throughout the whole relationship, there is still a possibility that could happen. So with that said, Miss Abby, whose problem is it when you don't do those things and they still sexualize you? Whose problem is it that time? Well, you should have been wearing a ski mask. You shouldn't have. You should put gloves on next time and wear a turtleneck and a ski mask and put on a jacket. But Abby, it's 100 degrees outside. Well, you got to do it so you won't be sexualized. But don't even get me started on that. There's so many questions I have for Abby, the transform wife, and all the and Miss Midwest. Another thing that they preach about is women should not have careers. If women don't have careers, and yeah, they've already said, well, if your husband leaves you or if you get a divorce, you can always, file for your half and you'll still be set and still be okay. That's not always the case. I don't think you're always gonna win that battle. One. Two, if you don't, if you don't educate yourself or get a degree or do something for you personally, God forbid, what if y'all's husbands pass? It happens, it can happen. Accidents happen. Sometimes sudden death occurs. God chooses whenever he wants to take his people. Classically, Abby, you can't decide that. Transform wife, you can't decide that. Miss Midwest, you can't decide that. You can't stop a car accident from happening. What if God decides that to happen? What if God decides to have a terminal disease? It can happen, right? And I'm not wishing death on anybody. But what do? Well, I have my mom and dad. Do you think that your mom and dad want to actually take you in and support your 10 kids because you decided that birth control also was not the answer and God is your birth control? I don't think that your dad, who is living on Social Security and who can barely make it by, is gonna want to take you and your 10 children in, okay? No. You need to have a career for yourself. You need to know what you're doing. You got to have a backup plan. I don't encourage a lifestyle like that. And I'm probably going to use this phrase many times. I used to be an ex-bill collector. And guess what? When you don't pay your bills because the man is the one who is a breadwinner and you have this debt as a woman that you've piled up, and you and your 10 kids are going to have $10,000 come back in taxes after you file your income tax. But guess what? The government took it away. Why? Because you have debt, but you're not working to pay it. And guess what? He doesn't want to pay it. Because in his eyes, that's not his debt. Why is that his problem? But spicy. My husband will pay it. Well, you know what? That's good news for you, but there's majority of the time where I see housewives always get into this problem. They don't pay it. And they think they can get away with it. But as soon as that taxes that you are looking forward to pay the bills because he's running behind on them because he's the only one that's working, you were looking forward to that $10,000. The government just swiped it from underneath you. And you didn't get it. Okay, but not only that, but what if we did live in your narrow-minded world where, you know, only men did everything and women didn't work? Guess who's gonna be your gynecologist after you spend your wedding night with your husband and consummate your marriage? Guess who's going to be the one to pat you down when you want to go on a vacation with your 10 children because you don't believe in birth control because God is your birth control? You don't get a choice. We live in your narrow-minded world. So those are the questions that I have for Abby, Miss Midwest, and Transform Wife. You don't have a career? What are you gonna do? What if? It could happen. It could happen. What are you gonna do? I mean, God forbid that happens, but to the women who went through that, what do they do? That's all I gotta say, guys. I just needed to rant about how I'm a Christian and I don't support any of this. Women, you go out there and you go get yourself that degree you've been wanting, that career you've been wanting. Take care of yourself, because in the end, if your husband passes, who's gonna take care of you? And it's not bad to have a backup plan. No, I'm not saying that I completely think that being a housewife is not a good idea. That's for some people. Go ahead, go you. But I know personally, it would never be a life for me. Anyways, guys, I hope you liked my video. And if you liked my video, please push thumbs up. Please make sure to subscribe and have that bell ring. And we are gonna get into more detail if you would like for me to do another video on me ranting about how these toxic Christian channels are toxic. With that said, guys, I hope that you all eat something spicy and have a nice day.